and welcome to Talking Golf with Gary. This week, the dynamic Gary will introduce you to all kinds of topics pertinent to this past week of golf. He'll give you some tidbits of information as what's coming up and take you on a tour around the world for all of the golfing highlights. Sit back and enjoy Talking Golf with Gary.
And hello and welcome to another week, another edition of Talking Golf with Gary, number 150, recorded on 2/6/2012. And I hope everybody had a great week since our last get-together here. And it certainly was an exciting week in the sports world as the Super Bowl was played yesterday and came to an end with a clutch fourth quarter drive by the New Jersey Giants to beat the New England Patriots. And congratulations to them. But right before that, there was an exciting golf tournament as the Phoenix Open took place out at the Waste Management.
Obama's legacy of failure.
The Waste Management Phoenix Open, and it was Kyle Stanley rebounding from last week's major loss, devastating loss, when he had a 7-stroke lead going into the final round and a 3-stroke lead going into the final hole and blew it. And ended up losing in a playoff to Brandt Snedeker. Well, the questions were around all week whether he would be able to weather that storm and come back if his psyche was destroyed, but it didn't seem to bother him as he rebounded to come back and win the Phoenix Open, overcoming an 8-stroke deficit Sunday in a comeback as unlikely as his collapse last week at Torrey Pines. In tears 7 days ago in San Diego after blowing a big lead and dropping the final strokes with triple bogey 8 on the final hole and losing in the playoff, Stanley took advantage of Spencer Levin's meltdown Sunday to win his first PGA Tour title. Stanley closed with a bogey-free 6 under 65, holding a 4-foot par putt on the par 4 18th to finish at 15 under 269. Ben Crane had a 66 to finish a stroke back, and Levin 6 strokes ahead entering the round and 7 in front after one hole, shot a 75 to finish 2 strokes behind Stanley. DJ Trahan had a 66 to finish 4th at 12 under, and Brendan Steele had a 64 and was another stroke back along with Kevin Na and Bubba Watson. And now, of course, the watch goes out on Spencer Levin to see if he can weather the storm and how he'll bounce back as he was looking for his first tour win. And former British Open champion Paul Lowry chipped in for an eagle and a birdie on his way to winning the wind-shortened Qatar Open on Sunday, shooting a 7 under 65 to hold off Jason Day and Peter Hansen. Lowry finished with a 15 under total of 201 to win his 7th European Tour event and his 2nd in Qatar. Day and Hansen tied for second 4 strokes back. It was Lowry's 2nd victory in a year. He also won the Andalusian Open last March after a 9-year drought. Now in the top 45, he could contend for a spot in the 2012 Ryder Cup. Lowry came into the final round with a 1-shot lead over Nicholas Kolsertz. The 1999 British Open champion Lowry started slowly with only a birdie on his first 8 holes, but just as several players, including Sergio Garcia, were challenging for the lead, Lowry sank a 20-yard chip for eagle on the 9th hole to go up by 2. Day and Garcia continued their charge, but Lowry recorded 4 birdies on a flawless back 9 that included clutch birdie putts on 11 and 14. And when Hansen chipped in for eagle on 16 to pull within 3, Lowry responded with a chip in for a birdie on 17. He played it safe on 18 and closed out with a short par putt for the win. First round leader John Daly finished 4th at 9 under with Garcia, Jean-Baptiste Gonet, Ricardo Gonzalez, and Soren Hansen another shot back in a tie for 5th. And that's a good round, a good tournament for John Daly as he's been struggling the last few years. that everybody knows what his story's been, and having trouble with tournaments and tournament sponsors and whatnot, and to have a pretty good tournament like that and finish fourth, hopefully will do something for his confidence, and maybe we'll see Big John doing some good this year. Christelle Beaujean birdied the last hole to win the Australian Ladies Champions by 1 stroke on Sunday and avoid a 4-way playoff. The 24-year-old Dutch golfer closed with a 4-under 68 in the final round to finish with a 21-under total 267, taking the lead for the first time on the par 5 last hole. And I guess if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it. She was 1 shot clear of overnight leader So-Yeon Ryu and Kim Ha-Nul of South Korea and Italy's Diana Luna. It was the second LET victory for Beaujean, who made her debut for Europe in the Solheim Cup last year. U.S. Open champion Ryu started the final round with a 3-stroke lead, due mainly to her 11-under 61 on Friday, but closed with an even par 72 and was overtaken on the last hole. Luna and Kim each finished with rounds of 67 to claim a share of second place. Sharing the lead with 3 others as she walked to the 18th tee, Beaujean reached the green in 2 and with Ryu in the green side bunker, left her eagle putt about 5 feet short. She made the easy birdie putt while Ryu flew her bunker shot too far. Lydia Ko, the 14-year-old New Zealand amateur, who became the youngest winner of a professional golf tour event with her victory at the New South Wales Open last weekend, finished as the leading amateur on 6 under at the Ladies Masters. Veteran Laura Davis of England shot a 71 and finished well off the pace at 4 under. 7-time champion Kari Webb did not play and will start her 2012 season next week at the Australian Open, which is co-sanctioned by the LPGA Tour. So we'll be looking forward to that next week as they begin to kick off their season. And we will be back right after this. For all the listeners of Talking Golf with Gary, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial to give you a chance to check out their service. Over 75,000 titles to choose from in many different categories, including science fiction, mysteries, biographies, sports, computers, you name it, they have it. To download your free audiobook today, go to audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary for your free audiobook today. You can now hear our show while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. On-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episode is always available for you. No syncing needed and no memory or storage wasted. Available for your iPhone, Android phone, WebOS phone, or your BlackBerry. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Oh my goodness gracious!
This is Barry from Mets Musings. Be sure to tune in weekly to Gary and myself at Mets Musings at Podomatic.com and also on iTunes.
Milwaukee Brewers and National League Central news and notes. BrewtownSports.Podomatic.com.
516-619-6341. That's the voicemail, comment, feedback hotline, whatever you want to call it. Give it a call, and we'd love to get calls from you and get it on the show if it's a question or a comment or anything that you'd like to say about the show. And if you prefer, you can email us at talkinggolf at gmail.com. And we haven't heard from our friend Jerry in Long Island and his picks in a while, so we'll have to get in touch with him. But that's talkinggolf at gmail.com. And again, the phone number is 516-619-6341. Okay, and in other golf news, Phil Mickelson has filed a lawsuit against an internet provider in Canada to learn the identity of a person who has been posting statements that the four-time major champion says is a deliberate attack on his reputation. I'm all for freedom of speech, but I won't tolerate defamation, Mickelson said Thursday after his opening round in the Phoenix Open. In his lawsuit against Videotron SENC in Quebec Superior Court, Mickelson cited comments posted on Yahoo Sports from November 11th to November 12th in which one or more persons under the pseudonyms Fog Roller and Longitude made statements that allege, among other things, that Mickelson's wife had an affair and that he fathered an illegitimate child. Mickelson says he is a victim of defamation. He is asking the court to force Videotron to identify the person so Mickelson can stop the dissemination of false and wrongful statements and obtain reparation for the prejudice already suffered. The motion was filed in Montreal on January 25th. Mickelson first filed a complaint in November 21st in San Diego County Superior Court, which authorized him to subpoena information from Yahoo Inc. that led to identifying Fog Roller as a Montreal resident with Videotron as the internet provider. Mickelson wants the Quebec court to demand that Videotron supply him with all information of the person using the Internet Protocol address who first registered under the Fog Roller pseudonym on December 16, 2008, and of the person using the IP address that posted the statements about him. 3 players were disqualified from the Australian Ladies Masters on Friday for unknowingly breaching rules on preferred lies. A rules official from the co-sanctioning Ladies European Tour said Australians Corey Howe and Im Hong Lim and Australian-based South Korean amateur Annie Choi were disqualified after playing one hole of their second round. The players, who were in the same group, said they had misinterpreted a local ruling during their first round, which allowed preferred lies on fairways but not in the rough. Choi had an opening round 2 under par 70, 5 strokes behind first-round leader Lee Bo Mi. Lim shot 80, and Howe had a 81. The 16-year-old Choi said they misunderstood what the starter said before they teed off about the local rule allowing preferred lies on the fairways because of wet conditions on the Royal Pines course. The trio had played only one hole of their second round when the rule breach was reported to Ladies European Tour Operations Director Cyprian Camoy. All 3 admitted to taking preferred lies off the fairways in the first round and were disqualified because they signed incorrect scorecards. And that's about it for the news. Sort of a quiet week. So let's go to the calendar.
The calendar.
And the calendar on the PGA Tour this week is makes a stop at the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. And D.A. Points is the defending champion. That used to be the old Bing Crosby Clambag. And the Champions Tour comes back to action this week, as they will play the Allianz Championship, and Tom Lehman is the defending champion in that tournament. And on the European Tour, they wrap up their Middle East swing as they play the Omega Dubai Desert Classic, where Alvaro Quiros will be defending his title. And the LPGA kicks off their season with a co-sanctioned tour as they are in Australia playing the ISPS hand the Women's Australian Open, and that'll be next week. So all four of the major tours, the only one not playing as of yet is the Nationwide Tour. But the ladies kick off, as well as the Champions Tour, make their return, the over 50 set. So we'll be looking forward to those tournaments, and of course we'll be back next week, to report and give you all the recaps of what occurred in all of those tournaments and whatever other news we can dig up. So I would like everybody to have a great week, and thanks for listening to Talking Golf with Gary. This is number 150, and I want to thank everybody for their support over all of these past few years. And we'll see you again next week with another edition of Talking Golf with Gary.